From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Lunch Hour News Blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting investigative journalists recently discovered that 20 Pennsylvania school districts have worked with the Independence Law Center, a Christian nationalist legal group that drafts and legally defends anti-LGBTQ plus school policies free of charge. The ILC's policies have led to lawsuits costing state school districts over $1 million. Other Pennsylvania school districts have also proposed or adopted anti-LGBTQ plus and book ban policies virtually identical to the ILC's, but their connections to the ILC remain murky due to blocked open records requests and reports of backdoor dealing, according to the news website in these times. The ILC ignored the website's multiple interview requests and emailed questions. The anti-LGBTQ plus Pennsylvania Family Institute launched ILC in 2006. The ILC has financial ties and a history of collaboration with Alliance Defending Freedom, the Christian Nationalist legal advocacy group that has launched several successful attacks on LGBTQ plus rights at the U.S. Supreme Court, including Mahmoud v. Taylor, giving parents the right to opt their students out of LGBTQ plus inclusive school lessons, and U.S. v. Scrimeti, which upheld a Tennessee ban on gender-affirming care for trans youth. The ILC has filed amicus briefs asking Republican-tilted Supreme Court to eliminate trans-inclusive school policies on sports and pronoun use nationwide. The group also defended conversion therapy, the widely discredited form of psychological torture that purports to change queer people's sexual orientation or gender identity. Pennsylvania's West Shore School Board is currently considering a policy that would ban trans students from using school facilities matching their gender identity, one that is identical to a policy drafted by the ILC. Other state school districts have discussed policies banning sexually explicit books, often a way to remove content from non-white and LGBTQ plus authors, which are based on ILC's model policies. Some school districts, Elizabethtown and Upper Adams, have signed formal agreements to work with the ILC, even when the community members have predominantly opposed such plans at school board meetings. Lancaster's Penn Manor School District hired ILC to draft new anti-trans school policies just months after a trans youth died from suicide in the district, the fifth such suicide in Lancaster in less than 2 years. ILC does not even recognize trans and gender nonconforming children as existing, said Melinda Harnish-Clatterbuck, whose transgender son, Ash Clatterbuck, died by suicide around the end of 2024. That fact alone should preclude them from even being considered by the board. Ash Clatterbuck's parents say that their son used to warn about the irrational hysteria around trans youth inherent in the kinds of policies that the ILC loves to draft. Ash Clatterbuck's father, Mark Clatterbuck, told the school board, "Do not try to tell me that there is no connection between the kind of dehumanizing policies that the ILC drafts and the deaths of our trans children." But the board agreed to work with the ILC and passed 2 anti-trans policies months after he spoke out against them. Living in a hostile political environment that dehumanizes trans youth at school, at home, at church, and in the halls of Congress had made life unlivable for far too many of our trans children, Mark Clatterbuck told in these times. We're going to leave the story here and offer the conclusion this evening. You can also find video versions of our news stories on the PEP Radio YouTube channel. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.